when I'm photographing. It's my way of expressing my feelings and emotions and what I love. What attracts me to a scene or a person is the same thing that happens, I believe, when people are attracted romantically. It's this infatuation, which can become an obsession. It's a real intense feeling. It's a rush when I see something beautiful or a beautiful person that I want to photograph. The challenge is to make the image a visual articulation of everything I'm seeing, feeling, and many times loving. I've worked so much in black and white that I see in black and white. I interpret the whole world as a black and white photograph. When I first started documenting sugarcane harvesting, I always photographed in bright sunlight. But when I had a family, I realized that was not going to work to be able to photograph in the day. So since sugar mills run 24 hours a day during harvesting, I figured I could photograph from 4 a.m. till about 7 when my children would wake up. And then when my husband would get home about 5:30 or 6, I would photograph the last of the burning cane and go home for supper. At the same time I did that, I switched formats and started using a 2 1/4, and at that point my style dramatically changed because I went from sunlight to dawn and dusk. As my time became so precious to make art, making art became so much more important. And once sugarcane harvesting would be over, I would go into the darkroom, and that would be the marathon of printing, and then back in the fall to shooting again. The more I worked, the more precious my time became to be an artist, but also to be a great mother. Whenever I'm here, I'm reminded of all the images of people stranded on their rooftops and being taken away by boats or helicopters. It was such a huge visual impact to see that these people were not evacuated properly before the hurricane, and once they were spread out all over the country. Now, a lot of people can't afford to return, and they aren't getting the help they should. The first time I came into the 9th Ward was about 3 weeks after the storm passed and the water had receded. And I walked the streets with my daughter Ruth for weeks, photographing all the devastation. There were no people here except for the rescue teams and a few policemen and firemen. And every home and church and business was open because the rescue workers had broken into every building to see if there were any people left. There was about 4 or 5 inches of mud everywhere, swamp mud and dirt, and I don't know if there was oil mixed up, but it was very smelly. I was hesitant to go into anyone's homes, although the doors were all open, and I was curious to see the interiors of any building. So I started going into all the churches because I knew that I would be welcome in all the churches.